Hey everyone, I'm Dan from JazzComposersPresent.com, an online space where composers, musicians, and listeners come together to celebrate the music we love. I'm joined today by Callum Au, British composer, arranger, and trombonist, musical director for the Kings Place Jazz Orchestra, and jazz trombonist with the Ronnie Scott's Jazz Orchestra. Callum is here to show us how to start your compositions from a musical or conceptual idea.
Hey Dan, great to be here. Thank you for having me. So, I've got two young kids. They love a musical story. We listen to Peter and the Wolf in the car all the time. I've just got a new record, Sing Seven Seas. And when prepping for this, I knew I wanted at least one piece like this, so that there was something for them to enjoy that they could kind of latch onto just like we can. So I wrote this piece, Jazz.ai. It's based on the Disney Sorcerer's Apprentice, and it's the story of a runaway LLM at a jazz college. And what I'd like to talk about today is how I use the music to tell the story in a variety of ways. So at that point in the story, this is towards the very end, every single person in the world has been taken over by the LLM, apart from the kind of professor character played by the plunger and pixie mute trombone, who is kind of impotently, angrily interjecting with these sort of little angry asides. In order to accomplish this, I use the orchestration and instrumentation to express what is going on directly. This is called word painting in your kind of tone poem type classical music. And you'll see every part in the whole band has exactly the same part. Now, to achieve this in reality, what you need to do is dovetail the phrase between different instruments so that the brass can kind of keep up with the saxes orchestrationally. So that's kind of your level one of how to do this. On level two, big bands have got a long history, and there are a lot of things about big bands that are kind of expected at this point. And I like to say that you can lean into the established idioms to evoke a feeling.
They call him the Sorcerer, and he's got something to say.
So this is the opening statement of the character, the professor character, whose name is the Sorcerer. It's deliberately slightly anachronistic and old-fashioned. The first statement is a quote from Come Sunday, which we all know is one of Ellington's greatest works. Everybody who has kind of been through the music college system knows that jazz as religion professor. I have the Freddie Green guitar on the acoustic guitar, playing from the fifth bar of the phrase for the first and only time in the track. The saxes are playing with this really warm vib, and the voicings are straight out of Billy Strayhorn. Obviously, the solo part on the trombone is with the plunger and pixie mute, and you kind of move your jaw with this sort of tricky Sam ya type effect to get that sound, which is very reminiscent of a style. And what it does here is shows that this guy, he's an old-fashioned dude, and he's very much by the book. He's out of a different era, if that makes sense. We've got our established idioms, and you can also subvert them. So at this point, we'll play the third little clip. Okay, so what I'm doing here is this character playing the tenor solo. That's the LLM in its first incarnation. I asked the soloist, her name's Emma Ravitch, she's an amazing British tenor saxophonist. I asked her to very much not try and play in the swing idiom, She should be as out there as possible, as modern jazz as possible, so that it sounds like something that's a little bit alien to the rest of the music. Because of how the big band idiom is established in people's minds, we can easily subvert it and subvert the expectations to create that sort of effect. So if your aim is to tell a specific story with the music, there are loads of ways to create and or subvert expectations to help get that story across. I've written up notes for this whole piece. So on my website, there is a series of notes that I've made on my kind of thoughts in this piece. We're going to have a link to this in the video description, which we hope you enjoy.
Thanks for watching today's mini lesson. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Drop any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos down below. To watch our full-length events and participate in live Q&As with our presenting artists, head to jazzcomposerspresent.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.